name is LanSirr and welcome back to DawnCraft Echoes of Legends. In this video, this is kind of part 2 to the enchanting table. I found out a lot of new things that will way improve how you enchant and just kind of be able to create the best armor that you can. So I kind of have this enchanting table here because this is kind of, or this enchanting table setup, because this is kind of how I feel like most players will get to easily. Of course, if we come into here, we can look at the shelves, and I'll just kind of give you an idea that there are much better ones you can get to. I have a whole another video kind of really getting into depth about that, but like the Draconic end shelf is the best one because it can get you to 50, max 40. But as you can see, this one with the crystalline, you can get to 30, but these are actually pretty easy to get to. So we're going to use this setup to kind of talk about this video. But again, if you can get a better setup with the highest Eterna you can get, it's better. So how to better enchant. As you can see, there's items behind me. We'll kind of go through all those. So normal enchant is, you get an item. Let's just pick a diamond sword. You're going to get your diamond sword. You're going to put it in the enchanting table, and you're going to get whatever one you pick, depending on your level. So, and again, these can come with things you don't like. These can come with like curses, all that type of stuff. So the best way to do it is actually tomes. So we have all these tomes in here, and I'll kind of explain. So the first one, Tome of Helmets, that's kind of pretty simple when you look at this and actually know it. So here's all the tomes. If we click Tome of Helmet, it's 1 blaze rod, 5 books, and it gives you 5 tomes of helmet. So if we were to make that, we would have gotten 5 of these. So after you make your tome, it's going to be used just like a, let's say a helmet or a sword would. So you'll put the tome in here, and you're gonna, click the max level with the tomes, so you have the best chance of getting good stuff. Now with the tomes, just like with items, it's gonna be random. You're gonna get some good stuff, you're gonna get some bad stuff. But the best part about this is you're gonna be able to just get a ton of different enchantments for honestly not that much. The blaze is kind of hard to get, but we're gonna put all 5 of these in here, and I'll show you step 2. So we have all 5 of those just for the helmet. Now, the next thing you need to get is something called the library. The exact name is the Enchantment Library. So how to make that, we'll look in here. And this one is a little tougher to make, but you're definitely, for this to work, you're going to need this. And it's something you should definitely strive to get. There is a better one, but we won't look at that one. Enchantment Library. So it's ender chests, which aren't that bad. Sometimes the traveling, the traders will have the ender eye, or the eye of ender. But again, it's not too hard to make. It's just an ender pearl and a blaze powder. So you're gonna get those. And if you used hell shelf, so you will need to go to the nether to create the hell shelf, or unless you find blaze rod at the mage's towers, you won't need to, but you'll need nether brick. So you need to make those, and you'll create the enchantment library. So all the enchantment library is every single spell book that you get, whether you find it or you create it, you doing what I just did, you can now house those in here. So as you can see, this enchanted book has blast protection 5. So we could put this in here, and now all of those enchantments are now stored in the enchantment library. So you see over here on the left, let's kind of run through this. So the max level available is 5 because that is the highest level that we put in. So in order to raise the cap levels of each enchantment that you want, you have to put the higher level in, or it'll just stay at level 1. So no matter how many, let's say, life mending we put in, if it's only level 1, it will only ever stay level 1. So if you can see here, this is life mending 2. We put that in here. Now life mending's max level available is 2. So if we want blast protection 5, you see points stored. That is how many books or levels that we put in here. So if I click it once, that's now a level 1 blast protection, and the points stored went down. So we can go all the way up to 5. So now we've taken all of those books out, and now we have a level 5 blast protection. You can take this with no levels, take it out. It's just that book. You can put it back in, and we'll re-add it. So we'll just throw all these in here, and now you have this entire library full of enchantments. So let's just get a diamond helmet. And then we're going to need, I think it's an anvil or smithing table. I can't remember which one. We'll just get both. I think it's an anvil. So if we were to want blast protection 5 on our helmet, we could pull this out, put our helmet in there, put just blast protection 5 in there, and now pull out our helmet, and now we have blast protection 5. So you can come back in here, we want protection 5. Pull out blast protection 5, or just protection 5, and you can add this in. And as you can see, now I'm creating specific custom gear. The next thing, if you don't know, most people do, is your enchantment points here at the bottom of the screen. It says blast protection 5, all the stats, enchantment points 10 of 19. So you know you can put 19 points of enchantment. So that actually shows on the books. Each level's 1, except for like mending is 5, but you'll see. So let's say we want to be able to swim really well. So we have max level 6 respiration. You can see at the bottom here, respiration 6, so you can add 3 more. Now you can fully max out the gear with the items you want, but this can get really like insane. You can do it with every single item. There's some odd ones too where you can get some kind of weird ones like Tome of the Others. This one is all about just kind of like the odd stuff. So if you look at this, Riptide 6, Workers Exploitation, Mirror duplicates chakras, which is some other stuff, but you can kind of see just like there's so many different things that you can do with this. Returning Board, Chromatic Aberration. Then you can do, you know, create the best, you know, mining stuff, fortune, all that type of stuff for your pickaxes, for your anything you need like that. And again, it all goes in there. So fortune 5, and it's all reusable. You can put items in, take items out. So just for the gear I'm wearing, and again, I did this through creative. It's not a fixed or anything like that. It has 21.5 points for the Ignitium helmet. So I put blast protection 5, protection 5, and breaking 5, icy thorns 1, and mending. Mending is the one that you cannot create. So I haven't found out how to create it. I've only found items with mending, or through normal enchanting, I get mending randomly. I can't find it. The book is here. I can't find the item that creates mending or anything like that. So if you can like get a trader that has a mending book, or if you have items like when you go out, you need to find items with mending and bring them back. And that's where we'll kind of get into the next part, is the Tome of Scrapping. So I really only use the Tome of Scrapping now for the mending. Because mending is, I think, the best one to repair your items, and I'll kind of run through that. The Tome of Scrapping, all it does is removes enchantments from items. So let's just grab some mending books, because again, I can't find any of the, like, create it. And we'll put a mending on our helmet. So the helmet that we just had, where did I put it? And again, mending, as you can see, is 5 itself. So even though it's just 1, it's 5. So now this helmet is at 15 of 19. But now we want the mending. So all you're going to do to get the mending off this is use a Tome of Scrapping, which you can only find in chests. It's going to cost a lot of levels. Sometimes it costs 30, sometimes it costs 20, depending on like what it pulls. But as you can see, it is going to pull mending out of this helmet. And now we actually have a mending book. So then again, we can come here, put the mending in, and now you have mending. And so that is the only way to get mending, but you're going to want it for all your gear. Like this gear I created, every single piece of this has mending on it, because it's going to keep all your items 100%. And then again, you have your weapons, which I'll just show you a few here. So you can come in, you know, you can make as many of these as you want. It's now the weapons are actually different. I forgot to run through the recipe. It's actually just 1 blaze powder, which you get 2 blaze powder from a blaze rod to create it. So it kind of you can kind of make a decent amount. You only get 2. And again, it's the same thing over and over to create, you know, some of the best items that you can get. So with that, I want to kind of talk about like OP gear and then how this kind of works out. So when it comes to this, like this enchanting routine, you're gonna get a lot of levels. I do have a video on my channel about an XP farm with chickens, sheep, or cows. So make sure you check that out, because you're gonna need a lot of levels. Knowledge of the Ages is a book that you're gonna want to get. And again, that can come from the weapons one. So if you need to hunt Knowledge of the Ages, you can either use your own, you know, unlimited diamond swords or whatever you want to try to do, or you can keep using these books and you'll end up getting Knowledge of the Ages at some point. And that is like a book that we really want to get in order to like level up yourself. Let's see if we can get it real quick. Looting. There it is. Knowledge of the Ages. So we have Knowledge of the Ages 2. That is definitely a book that you're going to want to get, or an enchantment you're going to get for a sword, and create like a looting sword. You're going to want looting, Knowledge of the Ages 2, and all that type of stuff in order to make the mobs drop more loot, which then the loot is directly converted to experience. So that's why you want to use those kind of things. So that's how you level up. I can have a whole video on my channel on how to create the farm. So in order to do that, or after you get that, you'll be able to really use this the best way that you can, because without the levels, it's going to take absolutely forever to go level up. So make sure you get a book like this, get Knowledge of the Ages 2. You can put it in here. Now you have max. You know, you've leveled up your Knowledge of the Ages. You can even filter it. So if you want a specific one, we have that. And so you can level yourself up. Now let's talk about like some of the crazy weapons you can get. So if you collect the rewards, which is from, you know, after you defeat these, you'll get these monster coins. If you save them up, you can actually get some crazy weapons. So we can come to rewards. Let's go over here. Once you get 15 of them, you submit your, you know, 15 or whatever. You can get these rewards. It's a lot of good ones. I already picked one right here. I just got this on my playthrough. So this is called the Torment. It's a crazy weapon. I have a whole thing kind of running through it if you guys want to check it out in the playthrough. I won't do too much here, but pretty much the best part about this weapon is it has 50 armor negation, so it kind of just goes right through things. So once you get like an OP item like this, the Torment, you don't want items like this to break. You can come to your library. I want to pull a mending book out, which we already did right here. And then that'll be a way for you to be able to keep items like this where you don't have to lose them. It costs 2. 5 out of 25. The Torment has a ton of enchantments you can put on it. But now this is a weapon where the usage is now, you know, being able to be repaired while we kind of attack things. So if I were to put this in just the enchanting table itself, so let's just type in the Torment. Let's just try this. If I was just to put this in here, it's a random ability. And I think for a weapon like this where you cost so much, doing this is kind of, you can get really good stuff or not really good stuff. It's like Bane of Arthropod. Like, this is not a good set to me. Like, there's some good stuff in here, but doing it the book route and being able to fully customize it, it does cost a little bit more levels, but I think is just way more kind of bang for your buck when it comes to like getting what you actually want. And when you get later in the game, you know, you don't want an item that has melding where it's like invisibility and it's taking up some of your enchantment slots. You're going to want some of the best items and enchantments you can get. So if you kind of go this route with it, it's really going to help you kind of, you know, become OP. I just also had a video kind of like on OP gear, where we set up the reforged table, fixed all of our items. And so doing this kind of setup here is going to get you the strongest you can. You're going to start kind of going through bosses. In my last playthrough, I faced a Sentinel Knight pretty much with this exact setup, except without this armor. I only had netherite, and the Sentinel Knight didn't even hurt me. This Torment just kind of blasted right through him. So if you want to check that out, but this is kind of a guide on how to get, you know, OP enchantments, how to get OP gear, and really just make the game much easier for yourself. So if you enjoyed if you enjoyed this guide, leave a comment below on a guide you'd like to see or something you want to see in the game. But if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.